Welcome, Chaos Crew. My name's Jamie. I am your host, and I'm so honored to have you here for Proffee and Chaos. Settle in, get cozy. We are going to have some amazing caffeinated combos. So, I wanted to start off by telling you guys a little bit more about me and why, after all this time, I finally started this podcast. It's been on my mind for a while. And for anyone who's been following along for a while, I'm sure maybe even some of you listening have even asked me for this before. It was a highly requested project that I've been holding off on because I said this verbatim to one of my friends who was encouraging me to start the podcast. I was like, what? So I can add to the chaos? Well, here we are. We are adding to the chaos. So, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Jamie. I am a registered dietitian and I had weight loss surgery 7.5 years ago now. I specialize in bariatric surgery. I have had bariatric surgery. I'm also on a GLP-1. I support people both pre and post op from weight loss surgery and on their GLP-1 journeys. And I'm really confident when I say that no one quite understands this journey like I do. So just know that you are in good company if you've ever felt frustrated, alone, overwhelmed, or like you're failing, because believe it or not, that is me too. I've kept it super real this entire time on my journey. Many of you know me as the sleep dietitian. I've been active on social media actually since before I had my weight loss surgery. And when I first came into the social media space, my whole reason for that was to get my own support. I was in my dietetic internship at the time, which maybe another episode I'll dive into that a little bit more. But essentially, it was like the busiest clinical year of my internship program. And that was actually the year I chose to have weight loss surgery. And at that time, I was super overwhelmed. I honestly felt like such a hypocrite. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be a dietitian soon and I need weight loss surgery because I myself still believed a lot of the stigmas that this was cheating. This was the easy way out. I felt very alone in my journey because I had never met not even one bariatric patient in my entire life at that point. So I dove into social media, started at that time, I had a different social media handle. I didn't share anything about like what I did professionally or schooling or any of that. I just wanted to meet other people. I wanted to connect. I wanted to know I wasn't alone. I really craved and needed that sense of community. So I started sharing on social media very transparently. Once I did become a registered dietitian later that year, I did share that as well. And the response was not what I was expecting. I really thought people were going to be like, I was worried I wasn't going to be accepted both as a dietitian from my dietetic intern peers as well as in the bariatric space. So many of us, myself included, have had terrible, terrible experiences with dietitians and other clinicians in the past. But I actually got a very warm welcome from the community, from the people I was already connecting with, saying, oh my God, you get it. Can you help me? And from there, things just kind of grew. And I've always just shown up on social media, very real, very transparently as myself, sharing evidence-based nutrition and support. And the thing is, I have grown over the years to have such a love-hate relationship with social media because as real as I am and as much as I show you, you can't possibly show everything. Like I said, love hate, right? Like I have met my best friends on there, the women that work with me in my programs. Like it has opened up my life in such beautiful ways. But at the same time, I feel like even more recently, it's become a little toxic. It's become a major highlight reel. There's so much comparison. And it's been harder and harder for me to just show up and talk the way I used to on social media. Part of that is transparently, it is my career, it's my business. I talk a lot about my services. One of the things that has unintentionally happened at my own hand, my own doing, is I've sort of ostracized myself from the very community I wanted to create and immerse myself in. So, for example, like one of my proudest projects and services is my tribe membership. It's a beautiful, beautiful community of women. And even though I know I'm so welcomed by them and I'm so proud of the space we've created, again, I almost feel on the outskirts of it sometimes because when you're the leader, when you are the go-to expert all the time, it's hard to also be the vulnerable girl who's struggling. So even though I know I'm allowed to show up in that way, it's hard when you are constantly leading everyone. Even in, I'm going to talk about entrepreneurship on this podcast too. Being the leader of my team makes things hard sometimes. It's hard to be people's best friends and their boss. It's hard to, again, be the go-to person, but also just be me. And I worry that some of you don't really know the real me as well as you could, or as well as I'd like you to. So I created this space. Yes, I am the sleep dietitian, but I don't want this podcast to be all about nutrition. You guys know you got to eat your protein. You know that you have to drink your water. Like we know those things. I'm not here to tell you what you need to do. I'm here to show you that both myself and the vast majority of people you are watching on the internet are not doing those things perfectly, and that you don't need to be doing it perfectly in order to be, quote, successful. Um, I named the podcast Proffee and Chaos. Like I said, my first reaction was, what? I'm going to add a podcast to the chaos? My life is so chaotic already. I don't have time for that. But me being the overachiever entrepreneur that I am, the person who always has ideas, I'm like, you know what? This will be a fun adventure. And I really do just want to show up and talk. So Proffee, as you guys know, is our maybe you don't know, so I will explain, is protein coffee. It's really big in the bariatric community because so many of us love our protein coffee. So I want the whole experience of this podcast to be a place where I just show up as myself, unfiltered, completely real, like rolling out of bed with my messy bun in my hair and my protein coffee, because that's literally what most days look like. And I want you to see the chaos. I want you to see how messy everyday life is for everybody. Because I think so many people and so many of the women I work with come to me thinking it has to be this picture perfect way or they're doing it wrong. And nothing could be further from the truth. So I want us to have these caffeinated combos because as new mom, my son is 14 months old. I'm navigating that aspect of life. I'm 7.5 years post-op. I am on a GLP-1. I received a late ADHD diagnosis. We're going to talk about all these things. And I just want to show up and have these caffeinated combos with you as Jamie, not as the sleep dietitian, but as your friend, your bariatric big sister, your fellow girly on a struggle bus every day, because that's the reality of it. And it's been hard, like I said, to show up and share all that. And I am absolutely an expert in nutrition. If there's one thing I can confidently say I do really well, it's support the women I support in my nutrition services. And a lot of imposter syndrome with this podcast. But if I know I was put on this earth to do two things: be Oliver's mom and be the bariatric dietitian that helps you through this journey, heal your relationship with food, and hit those weight loss goals unapologetically and confidently. But again, I don't want to be the leader in every single conversation. I just want to sit here with you and chat. So that is essentially what this podcast is. If you are someone who has struggled in your journey on any capacity, if you feel like you're failing, if you feel like you're constantly comparing yourself, if you feel like you have major imposter syndrome, if you feel overwhelmed by life 99% of the time, like, congratulations, you are in the right place. Come sit down with me, grab your Proffee. We're going to chit chat about it. So I'm really excited to dive into this. We're going to talk about all sorts of things, real life things on this journey. And again, this is real life. Where I'm sitting right now, the studio is my dining room. I have a teeny tiny house. We had to make this into a space where I could record. With that being said, you are going to hear my son screaming or yelling in the background. You're going to hear my dog bark. Like, everything about the podcast itself is imperfect too. So welcome. We are in good company. I'm really honored that you're here. Really glad you're here. There's so much more to come. If you are already excited for this podcast, I really welcome you to like and subscribe below. I want you to share this with your friends if you think that they would enjoy it too. Please give it a 5-star rating if this is exactly what you've been needing in your journey. Linked below, you have all the information on all my social media accounts, my email list. Please make sure that you are following along on social media. I'll be giving updates there. The best place to hear what is coming, to make sure you don't miss anything, is to subscribe to my email list. Make sure you do that below so you don't miss a thing. If you happen to be watching this on YouTube, you can hit the little button to be notified when something new is posted so you don't miss anything. But I'm really, really excited for this. And before we leave, I have one very controversial question for you all. This is the most epic bariatric debate out there, and I'm going to be unhinged and throw it out there. Is it Proffee or Proffee? I know. We debate about this one. Let me know whatever media channel that you are watching this on. I want you to comment below and tell me which one it is and why you're right. I, for one, say Proffee, but I'll let you choose. Until next time, Chaos Crew, we'll see you soon.